Probably Can't Move would have been a better title for this Netflix original film, as the lead character gets drugged with a paralyzing agent. But as it is, let's talk about Don't Move. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my movie review for a new Netflix original thriller called Don't Move. We will launch into the specifics of the movie and my thoughts on it here in just a moment. But first, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are one of my subscribers already, thank you so much. Always love having you guys return. But if you're not, please consider subscribing below. Click that notification bell. All that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. And you'll get the alerts for all my new video drops. I do try to post every day, so there is always something new going on here. But if you don't want to do that, you can just like this video, comment below. All that stuff helps the channel out as well. So this is called Don't Move, and it is directed by a pair of people. Usually we don't get duos directing here, but Adam Schindler and Brian Netto. Unfamiliar with both of those, and it was also written by two people I don't know, TJ Simfel and David White. But one of the main producers we certainly know, and that is Sam Raimi. He, of course, has brought us a lot of big horror movies over the last few decades, starting with Evil Dead, and, going into more recently, this is not straight ahead horror, but the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness certainly had a lot of horror elements to it with that Raimi touch. So, no stranger, of course, to that. But essentially, this movie is about this woman, Iris, who is a grieving mother. She just lost her young son on a family hiking trip, so she returns to the area and contemplates her own death, jumping off this cliff that she's on. A gentleman stranger appears, and he basically talks her down, and they agree, okay, yeah, maybe this isn't the best idea. So she follows him back to their cars in the parking lot, and she's going to go on and live the rest of her life. But oh no, turns out he is a serial killer and injects her with this paralyzing agent, and the next couple of hours of her life are going to be very, very difficult. And she is sort of tied up at first because the paralyzer hasn't quite taken effect, and she has a pocket knife on her, so she does end up, kind of getting away. But he explains to her how that drug is going to work and what the time frame is. Okay, now your legs are going to stop, and now this is going to happen, and da-da-da-da-da. So, good luck. And so we see her attempting, basically, to get away from this dude. And that's essentially what's going on. I don't want to delve any more into the plot than that. I think that probably gives away enough. But you have Kelsey Asbille, or Asbille, as Iris. I'm not familiar with this actress, and I've never heard her name spoken, but she is a part of the Yellowstone universe. She was in One Tree Hill. She was in Teen Wolf on MTV. All shows I have not watched. But, so I don't know how to pronounce her name, but you may recognize her from those. And Finn Wittrock plays Richard here. And of course, there's Finn Wolfhard too, and that's he's part of the Netflix universe with Stranger Things, much younger actor. But I get the two confused because they both have such interesting names. But Finn Wittrock is part of the Ryan Murphy universe. He's done a few of the American Horror Stories. He's done some of the Feud series, I believe. So, other than those two, there's only really a couple of other people in this movie. This is basically a very, very closed set, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, it's essentially a two-hander between these two, and the hunt is on, basically. So, all right, in terms of my review, look, I actually thought this was pretty fun to watch, but it is one of these movies where a lot of things happen that really are kind of stretching believability in terms of things that she finds to work in her favor, and sort of coincidences that are coming along to give the Wittrock character sort of the runaround, or putting up different obstacles in his way, that seem quite manufactured for a movie like this, and I there's a little too many conveniences, I feel like, for what this is. But look, it was a fun ride to watch. I will say that. And like I mentioned, I am unfamiliar with Kelsey Asbille, or Asbille, but boy, she is really good here. And in a role that, I mean, she is paralyzed for the majority of the movie. You know, you've heard of scream queens in these horror movies, but she is like a breathing queen because all she can really do as this character, you know, for a good probably hour of the movie is she is able to blink and she is able to, you know, kind of breathe, but her breathing is pretty labored, especially as she is, you know, facing certain obstacles where you'd obviously, you know, your heart would go a little faster and you would breathe a little heavier. But she has to breathe even kind of harder than that because her body is working sort of twice as hard to counteract the drug and all of that. Her performance here is really really solid for somebody that really is, you know, her character is paralyzed. So I thought that was great. The dude, you know, Finn Wittrock, he's fine. I mean, he's pretty stock serial killer type character. You know, they're casting the next American Psycho movie, and I am sure he would be a fine Patrick Bateman for that. But you know, is he giving us anything really that's more nuanced? No. And it's interesting because Netflix just had a serial killer movie with Woman of the Hour with Anna Kendrick. She directed it as well. And similar feelings actually about this movie. It's about the same grade really, but that killer was probably a little more nuanced. And also I will say this guy, for being a serial killer, he does seem to slip up a lot. Like he makes really kind of dumb mistakes in certain aspects. And I feel like somebody that has done this a lot would maybe give it a little more of a go, sort of with the checks and balances than this guy seems to do. And look, yes, desperate times certainly call for desperate measures, but even just from the beginning, why'd she have that pocket knife in her pocket? He didn't drug her and then, you know, kind of pat her down. I mean, come on. Is this guy, you know, new to the neighborhood or what? I don't know. But look, this is a fun watch, but it's certainly got a lot of narrative issues, I would say. If you could put those aside, I think it's going to be an enjoyable film for you. And it comes in at just like 92 minutes or 91 minutes. I mean, it is a good, quick watch. A lot of it is kind of in real time too, based on the time frame that he gives her for the paralytic agent. So you know, it's not exactly, you know, minute for minute, but it is essentially, you know, vaguely real time. It's certainly over the course of a couple of hours. This movie is. So, all right. Overall, look, this one is definitely like a slight positive. I teetered on a couple of different grades for this. I think because they kept it, you know, moving swiftly, and because of some good performances, I will leave it with the higher of the two grades I was considering. I will leave Don't Move with a B minus. And like I said, you can check this out now on Netflix. And there are other serial killer movie as well that just came out. Like I mentioned, Woman of the Hour, that's streaming as well. I think I gave that a C+. So they're both kind of right in that slightly positive range. And you can check those both out now. All right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time.